So the idea with this series of videos is that I will introduce some of my favourite roads from the west of England. It has to be said actually that by far the best roads around here are in Wales. So that's where we're heading now, westbound on the M4 and into some fairly heavy August bank holiday weekend traffic. It always looks a bit scary on the video, but actually I think filtering in heavy traffic on the motorway is probably one of the safest places you can do it, as long as you watch out for random lane changes. Certainly this is kind of situation where you're really grateful that you're riding a bike and you can just leave it all behind. So a couple of miles later you come down the hill and you turn off onto the M48, which is the old route of the M4 before the second Severn crossing, second Severn bridge was built back in the 1990s. And since the M4 was rerouted down to that, the M48 has become a kind of backwater motorway, which I really like. It has a sort of sense of how motorways must have been back in the 1960s when it was originally built. So short hop down the M48 and pretty soon you get a sight of the bridge and come up to the toll booths. Bikes get to cross for free, which is quite a bonus when it costs £7 to go over in a car and a lot more for trucks. I never get tired of going over this bridge. It's just an elegant and beautiful thing. Somehow nicer than the new one for me. The new one carries a huge amount more traffic, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they had to build it. But yeah, this is a remarkable bit of engineering too, and I have great fondness for it. If you're crossing this way, it's worth checking the status of this bridge, because it does get closed for maintenance quite frequently. You can check that on the Severn Bridge website. If it is closed, you can always cross via the new bridge, but it's quite a detour to get back up to Chepstow. So after you've crossed the bridge, you take the very first exit, which is to Chepstow. And now we're in Wales. Dual language signs everywhere, of course. So what we're doing is we're going to go on past Chepstow, about half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile, to the B4235 to Usk. That's the road we're interested in today, and it is probably one of my favourite roads anywhere. So looking for that left-hand turn after the Budgeons. Here we are on a map. B4235 to Usk. Things get going pretty quickly once you've taken that left turning past the Budgeons, and you're straight into a very twisty section that goes through a kind of area of woodland. really it just doesn't straighten out at all. It just keeps throwing curves at you, this road, and that's one of the things that makes it so wonderful on a motorcycle. So maybe a mile or so in, that's not that far, you come to quite a complex sequence of bends. This is probably my favourite section of this road. Got to really watch these because they've got very late apexes. They go on and on quite deep, and if you don't judge it right, you can find yourself looking for the apex too soon, and things can get quite messy through here. So yeah, definitely worth keeping your wits about you if you're new to this road, because it does take a while to learn it. Yeah, as I come into these bends, I often saying to myself, stay out, wait for the apex. And there it is. It's definitely a road that rewards experience and practice, this one. And yeah, make no mistake, it can catch you out if you up the pace too quickly before you're familiar with it. But that is one of the things that's so great about it. It's a route that really tests your bike's handling and helps you to develop your riding skills as well. And really, no matter how many times I ride this road, I'm still learning things about it. This section here used to be all woodland, and then a few months back they came along and cleared that entire hillside of its tree cover. So I guess it must have been a plantation or something, but it was a real shock the first time I came around that bend to see all that woodland had gone. It has revealed a fantastic view. So after about maybe 12 miles you come into the town of Usk, with speed camera, which I believe is pretty much always turned on, so watch out for that one. And Usk itself is a charming little town, and worth a visit, really, worth a stop. Castle and various pubs and shops, and it sits on the River Usk itself, with a bridge. From here you can go on sort of deeper into Abergavenny and Brecons, but anyway, so right, here we are. We're now running it back the other way, back towards Chepstow, and actually, for me, in some ways, this is the better route. Yeah, for me, running it this way is possibly even more engaging, actually. So, probably time for me to stop rambling and just let it run.